Balotelli, Aguero!
Brought to you by Modelo.
And Gerrard!
Let's get it. Alright, we live.
Yes, sir. You know how it is, baby. It's your boy Thom back again.
Armchair Analyst, episode 8. It's your boy Lewis. As always, you got to listen to our two beautiful voices talking about football and other things. Alright, we're gonna get it going straight away. We should probably do a moment of silence for Tottenham Hotspur.
Yeah.
And that's it, fuck it. Alright, so obviously starting with that is Tottenham, Bottle Job FC, Banter United.
No.
They've lost twice in a row last
this
week.
week, yeah.
Well, we'll say this week, going into this week. The first, they go away to Leicester, which is a hard game.
Yeah, Leicester's never an easy game.
And they take an L, 2-1. They then go away to... Is it Colchester?
Yeah, Colchester.
Colchester, I barely spell it. League 2 side, just to point it
I know.
out, just to make sure everyone knows. And they got turned over with penalties. Bear in mind, they paid like 60% of their first team squad as well.
Really?
Yeah, because they had Son playing, Lucas Moura playing.
Yeah.
I think Deli Dickhead played for a bit.
Yeah, Moura missed the penalty, innit?
I think all their senior players just fucked it. Ericsson played,
Yeah.
but even though he doesn't want to be there. Imagine that. You want your guy to stay, yeah? So what do? You take him to Colchester on a Tuesday evening.
I know.
That ain't going to motivate me to stay in England. And then, obviously, on Instagram during the week, I sent that questionnaire out about, do you want Poch or do you not?
Yeah, I saw it.
So many people said they still want him.
I guess they're still holding on to what he's done in the past, even though they haven't won any trophies. They've done, considerably well in the league.
Yeah, for a mid-table side.
Yeah, they've been in the Champions League 2-3 years in a row
3
now.
years in a row now.
So,
Made it to the final.
as long as they're in the Champions League, I think the fans are happy to see them in there. And for them to be in the finals last year, they kind of still, they still have that hope to where, maybe we can do it again this year. Which is not happening.
Yeah, that ain't happening. But I just don't see what they want to see out of it. Like, that project he's had, it came to the top. It finished when they got to the Champions League final and that stadium was built.
Yeah.
And as soon as they lost that final, I think everything went to shit because no one knows what the next step is. Because he would have left if he won the Champions League final, and I think he should have left even if he lost it. Because you cannot get better than that. Tottenham Hotspur don't win trophies.
Nope.
Think about how many finals they've been in the last few years.
Yeah.
It's not regular. It's like once in a
They
blue
always
moon.
fold when it comes to the big games.
And there's always an excuse for Poch as well. He never just admits that the better team won. It's always problems in the dressing room. We didn't tie our shoelaces properly. We'd have a good night's sleep. Some shit like that. He never admits it, and he's giving the players too many excuses other than the fact they need to step up.
Yeah, that's the thing. They need a kick in, they need a boost.
They've had their teeth kicked down their throat by two teams in the space of 5 days.
Who are they playing this week?
I didn't even check.
They're probably
That'll be one for the preview, but if I was Tottenham, do you remember there was a time when people said we were hanging on to Wenger for too long?
You were though.
We held on to him till he was literally dead.
Yeah.
But Spurs are in danger of that. If they just keep holding on to Poch because he's good, he cuddles young players, and he keeps Dele Alli happy.
That's one thing as well that pisses me off. I think Dele Alli is so overrated. He's not.
Oh yeah.
I don't think he's a good player, to be honest. He had his moments. All right, fair enough. But
yeah,
this from the beginning of the season, he hasn't done anything.
Nothing. Mason Mount's done more than him.
Exactly.
And the thing is, he had those first two really good... Was it 1 or 2 really good seasons at the start?
Yeah.
And then everyone's raving about him. And then after that, he's done relatively nothing. He scored a header against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. He's had... The only thing I noticed about Dele Alli is the fact he's had his hamstring taped up since he was born. That hamstring's been pulled since birth.
Yeah.
And then it finally went, and now we haven't seen him again. We see him once in a blue moon.
He's so clumsy with the ball. He always loses the ball. He loses it too much.
He's going to be the new Jesse Lingard. He'll do a funny celebration every now and then when he scores against us, and then disappear for 25 games. But let's finish with Tottenham because they're finished anyway.
Yeah.
Let's talk to another team that's in absolute state, Manchester United.
Yep, you lot have him this Monday.
Oh, we're probably going to lose to them in the most Arsenal way ever.
It's starting at 7:45, isn't it?
Yeah, so ruin my evening,
I know.
standard. But that team's in more turmoil than Spurs. Ole has fucked that wheel up.
They literally scraped it. Scraped it.
They had a £150 million midfield and they couldn't beat them
I know.
in normal time.
Who did they play?
Was it-
Wim something?
Oh God,
I
I
don't
can't
even
even
know.
remember the name.
Yeah, that's how bad
But
it is.
they are. Was it Doncaster?
I don't know.
But they were terrible. And you bring on Pogboom, who's supposed to be God's gift, and he did fuck all in that game. The only thing I'm more surprised about is the fact that Man U players managed to score penalties.
I mean, it was their last hope, innit? They had to just take it.
But it's how the mighty have fallen, and I'm talking in terms of Arsenal as well. Like the mighty, there was a time when Arsenal, Man U, it was them two.
Yeah.
Now both of us are fucking competing for who's the least shit.
I don't even know who's gonna compete for Champions League this season. Like everyone's in literally, it's Liverpool, Man City, and shit. Like
Yeah.
Liverpool, Man City, and everyone's just all over the place. There's no consistency.
You know, what I think it is. It's because of Brexit. No one wants to worry about going to
I
Europe.
don't
They
like
don't want to
Brexit
get anyone a
anyway,
visa.
so- Yeah.
But then they went to West Ham before that and got rinsed.
Yeah.
They made Aaron Cresswell look like Roberto Carlos. They got raped. And they had fucking Carlos Sanchez in the middle, who's probably the worst. We talk about Mustafi being the worst player we've ever seen. This man makes Mustafi look like a prime Maldini. He just doesn't do anything. Like when they lost to Oxford United, I watched him get turned by someone and he didn't even react. He just sort of watched the ball go past him and just stood
I
there.
didn't watch the game, but
I've seen the highlights. I would never watch West Ham play anyone, let alone Oxford. But yeah, like, you lose to them. You're going to beat us on Monday because we're stupid. And we've got 5 captains, but no
you
good
never
players.
know, man. Well, it's gonna be a different game for them, innit? We'll see how they play out.
Well, as long as Jesse Lingard don't score against us, I'll be happy.
Yeah.
But yeah, so let's talk about Arsenal. So Unai Emery's named his 752 captains that he wants to captain the team. None of them leaders. So we got Granit Xhaka as our captain, which if you're an Arsenal fan, that's like getting kicked in the balls. No one wants him to start, and no one likes him. He is a leader in the dressing room, but he doesn't lead on the pitch.
I mean, I guess it's because he's vocal, but
I could be vocal on a football pitch.
Yeah.
I'll go full kit wanker, jump on that pitch and just scream at people for 90 minutes.
you never know. I mean, he's captained you lot for how many games? Quite a few games this season.
6
already,
games
innit?
this season, and we've looked shit in every single one of them.
But then who would you much rather have as a captain?
Aubameyang. He leads by example. I mean, there's no
I
leaders
wanna
on the
agree
pitch.
to that. Yeah, exactly. There's no leaders in the pitch.
So you might as well
But
just give
you
it to the
wouldn't
one.
want to give it to Aubameyang too. I wouldn't personally.
I think I would, just because he's the only one that actually does anything on the pitch. If we just go by leading by
No
example.
big games.
Yeah, well, I mean, he scores against Spurs.
Uh,
We'll say, and they're not a big team, good point.
yeah.
But he's the only one, he's the, second, third best striker in the league. So we'll just give it to him, he can have it. It doesn't really matter anyway, no one actually listens to their
Like how
captains anymore.
Kane has the captain.
But I don't know, I need a translator for every time he speaks. All that comes out of his mouth when he attempts to speak is spit. It's spastic. But I just 5 captains when you don't really need one anymore. It's a bit strange. And obviously with Arsenal now, the main thing I wanted to bring up about Arsenal is the fact we brought Bellerin, Tierney and Holding back.
Yeah.
And I think that's Emery's saving grace.
Yeah, Bellerin is.
Like them on their day, if that because you can see how Emery wants to play. He wants to start with the wing backs and push forward.
That's your problem. You got to play better off from the back, because
I think this will be the fix.
yeah, we'll see how you play out against Man U, I guess. That'll be an interesting game.
With Ashley Young coming up against Hector Bellerin, I'd take my chances. But I think if we fuck up with this defence now, Emery's gone by January. Like if we're not looking like we're getting top 4,
Remember, you're Arsenal. You're not Chelsea. If that was Chelsea, 100%.
This is a different Arsenal. There's none of the same leaders that were in the same team last time. Raul Sanelli's running it. Edu, Vinay Vinashram, and even Josh Kroenke now understands that you can't play games anymore. Start pissing around, you cut the head off before it starts growing a bit more. But let's sort of transition into the predictions for this weekend.
Yeah.
So, there's a few decent games on.
Yeah.
I know the evening one on Saturday is pretty nice.
What is it?
That's City versus Everton at Goodison Park. So
Yeah.
City will probably win 8-0 again.
Yeah, they're just. But we'll start off with Liverpool versus Sheffield.
Is it at
That's
Sheffield
the
United?
first game, yeah. Tomorrow morning, 12:30. Well, afternoon.
It's not a bad game, to be fair. Sheffield
Yeah,
United.
Sheffield's not. I thought Sheffield was gonna be. I said it in the first podcast, I guess. I think that Sheffield was gonna be terrible, but
Yeah,
They've
I
been
was
pretty good.
backing them.
yeah.
They were the only ones I backed. I didn't back Norwich with Pookie. But they're going to get turned over by Liverpool
Yeah,
anyway. Probably
it's
3-1.
Liverpool,
What do you
yeah.
reckon?
4-0. 4-0, just because it's
Four.
Liverpool is just a different breed.
No respect. No respect.
It's Liverpool.
Liverpool.
And then we got Crystal Palace versus Norwich. That's gonna be.
That sounds like the kind of game where people dying. Like literally
gonna-
viewers die.
This is hard to predict purely because Crystal Palace has been all over the place. Norwich had a good start, but they've started falling apart.
I might go and paint something during
I
that
think
game.
I think Palace wouldn't just purely because they're playing at home.
Oh, that's such a bad game. Why would you? I'm happy it's 3 o'clock, so we haven't got to actually see any of it. But I'm gonna go 4-1 Norwich. I think Pookie's gonna score a hat-trick.
Wow.
And
4-1.
Buendia. I might be being a bit excessive there, but Crystal Palace are so shit that
Yeah,
I was just throw it out the blue. And Pookie's in my fantasy team, so
I know. That's why you always pick him.
good old Pookie.
And then we got Villa Burnley.
Okay,
Villa's
this
been terrible.
this
They
is-
lost against Arsenal.
yeah, that's how trash they are. But okay, so that's taken the crown for shittest game of the week. That is terrible. Burnley v Aston Villa. I think Villa win that.
Yeah.
Jackie
I think
Grealish.
It's about time for Villa to step it up now.
But, I mean, some of the games they've lost, it has been a bit harsh on them. Like they were a better team against us, and they arguably should have beat Spurs as well in the first game.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Villa will do it.
Yeah, I think Villa will. So maybe like 1-0.
Yeah, it's gonna be a boring game. Match of the day ain't gonna be putting that in the first four.
Definitely not watching Match of the Day on Saturday. So we got Bournemouth versus West Ham. I think Bournemouth's gonna win that. West Ham is just.
I don't know. Bournemouth lost to Burton during the week, and West Ham have looked quite good in the last 3 or 4 games, but they're not very good away from home. I might go for a draw in that one, 2-2.
Not bad. Not bad. Let's move on because that's a shit game anyway. But we got Wolves versus Watford.
Oh, another shit game.
I know, Watford. I'm just saying Watford just because Wolves has been.
Neither of them have got a win this season.
Really?
Neither of them. I think they're the only 2 teams without a Premier League win.
Oh, true, yeah.
So this is a relegation 6-pointer right now.
Yeah. Draw!
I'm going to go Wolves 3-0. Just because Watford keep taking L's at the moment. They lost 9, or was it 8-0 or 9-0?
Oh, this is interesting. Tottenham's playing Southampton.
Oh, that's their bogey team.
Yeah.
Southampton, 7-0.
Southampton 2-1.
Ooh. Yeah, I agree with you. 2-1, 1-0.
Yeah.
There's not
'Cause
gonna be much-
if they played that way against Colchester, and you're expecting them to play better against Southampton.
What do you think's their excuse if they lose this weekend? They got lost on the way home from Colchester. Took them an extra hour.
Too much night before. Too much kebabs.
Too much water the night before. What's next?
Chelsea versus Brighton.
I'll let you lead on that one. That's your boys.
This is gonna be a first clean sheet.
Clean shit.
Shit. That's how you know we've been so shit. Clean shit.
First clean shit of the season.
Of the season.
Just-
Chelsea 2-0.
Reece James.
But then
is-
again, with Chelsea, we've been scoring goals this season, but it's just I just want that clean slate, no goals. Give Kepa a break. 2-0 Chelsea. Come on.
You know, it's like with Chelsea, yeah? It's like when you're trying to fill up a bottle of water, but there's a hole in the bottom. You're
Exactly.
goal,
Yeah,
and then fucking goals are going out at the same time. Like, I think Kepa's got PTSD, but I've heard that Reece James is going to start, and
I hope
Christensen might start as well. So
Christensen.
you can get rid of a Zuma.
I mean, he got injured though, innit? So I don't know if he'll be fit.
Who, Zuma?
No, Christensen.
No, I said he would be fit.
He'll be fit.
Well, more than likely fit.
Oh, okay.
But you take Christensen
Yeah,
on
of
one
course.
leg
I
over
mean, I don't
Kurt
want
Zuma.
neither of them, but if I have to choose one, it'll be Christensen.
Dumb and Dumber. Which one do you
Yeah,
want?
well, I want Rudiger back. Once Rudiger is back, I think we're gonna have a better defense.
Okay, what's he doing? On
And
holiday?
No, he's still recovering, isn't it?
What did he do?
He got injured. Remember?
Oh yeah.
He came back and then he just wasn't that fit. And then,
See,
but once he's back, I think we'll start getting the clean sheet.
the clean sheet.
So we got Everton City after that.
Now, this
Great
game
game.
to me has the making of a really, really good game.
Yeah.
But because it's Everton, it's going to be shit and they're going to lose 4-0. Because Everton buy every
City,
single
yeah.
Arsenal reject.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they're basically, they should be called Arsenal FC too.
That's Arsene Wenger's dream team right there. Theo Walcott and Alex Iwobi up top with Dominic Calvert-Lewin. What do you reckon?
I think Man City 3-0.
Oh, he'd be nice to him. I mean,
Leicester versus Newcastle.
Oh.
Leicester's gonna take that. They've been balling.
3-1 Leicester.
Yeah, I think 2-0 Leicester.
Like, at home for Leicester as well.
Maddison.
Madini. He's a baller.
I know.
I wish we would spend £60 million on him, but
He's actually-
Leicester
He
have.
looks so. I was speaking to you about it, innit? He looks so comfortable, and when he makes a mistake, he doesn't put his head down. He just gets back. And
Yeah.
then
You
get
know
on with
the
it.
worst part about him though? His hairline's a bit mad. But so is Mane, so you never know. He could become the best player in the
There's
world.
always hope, innit? I mean, they've got all that money in the world. They've got a solution for everything. Do you know what I mean?
But I wish Arsenal would go for him as our central midfielder. But Leicester have no desire to sell, and they're minted from the Maguire deal, so it wouldn't make sense. They'd price us right out of that thing. Who's next?
Then final game of the week. Well,
United.
Arsenal.
As much as I expect Arsenal to be Arsenal and lose, because I'm an Arsenal fan, I always expect the worst and still come out disappointed. I think we might win about 2 or 3-1. I reckon we'll give away a penalty because Arsenal. We give our handouts.
No, I don't think you would.
I
I mean,
know.
who have they got up front? There's no.
Jerry Lings.
There's no what's it called?
But we have a habit of making Jesse Lingard look good.
diet brain, man. My brain's not working properly.
But we do have a habit of giving Jesse Lingard that game where he looks good for 5 minutes
Yeah.
and shit for the next 7.
I think it'll be a draw.
Oh, I fucking hope not. We better come out with a win at
2-2,
Old
1-1.
Trafford. Place is a shithole and the team's shit too. Bellerin is going to get an assist that game. Aubameyang is going to score. And I really hope Guendouzi scores.
Yeah, he's
Just
like-
because I know how so many people want to hate on Guendouzi.
Pepe needs to score.
I'm hoping
In
now.
play goal, not a.
Nah, he's going to be our penalty man. He's going to score 12 goals this season just because of penalties. But no, I've got faith in Pepe now that he's got a little bit of confidence under him. Because the goal's a goal. Like, if it comes from a penalty, if it comes from anywhere, it's a goal. And I've just got to hope. I'm hoping because that receipt, I don't know where it is, and we can't send him back.
Finance.
That's the roundup for those games. So it's better than it has been the last few weeks.
Yeah.
Could be a lot better. But there's one last thing I wanted to bring up before we end this podcast, and I don't know if you've seen the news in the boxing at the moment.
What?
But have you seen Nigel Benn is coming out of retirement to fight? He's 51 years old. He sounds like his brain's been in a mincer.
What's he been? Has he run out of drug money or?
I don't know. I think he's lost because his 2 sons are boxers. Conor Benn's undefeated and he's doing it right, making a little bit of dosh. And he says he's not skint, and he doesn't seem skint.
Sometimes they say that, but you never know what's behind the scenes.
And the British Boxing Commission didn't commission it. And you know what Brits are like. We'll watch anyone fight.
Yeah.
We'll throw anyone in that ring if we have to.
Let's not talk about them anyways, but because we got Porter versus Spence. That's the most
Arguably
We'll
the
talk about that after.
That's a fight. And
Reaction video coming.
that is a fight.
Reaction video coming.
Yeah. No, that
Come
it's
in.
free as well. So anyone that doesn't watch boxing but wants to start watching it, free on Sky Sports at about 2 a.m. So
Yeah.
if you're not busy smashing or wanking, that's what you can do with your evening. Alright, but I think, is that everything?
That's everything.
I think we've covered everything. Bit of a shorter one again, short and sweet, just like I'm fucking lanky as hell. So I'm the complete opposite. That matches Tom's description more. But that's it this week. as always, the socials will be in the description. Tom?
You lot, have a good day, have a good weekend, be safe, wear protection.
As always, pleasure talking. Hope you enjoyed listening. Remember, kids, don't do drugs. Archer Analyst, we out.